Hey guys, it's Hype Train here, this time with a video on Chained Echoes. Chained Echoes is a pixel art indie turn-based JRPG. It is developed by Matthias Linda and published by Deck 13. Matthias Linda is a German indie developer who made fan games using RPG Maker. He was inspired by JRPG classics such as Xenogears, Terra Enigma, Secret of Mana, Suikoden, Breath of Fire, and Final Fantasy VI. He worked on Chained Echoes for 7 years starting in 2016, and he successfully funded the game through Kickstarter in 2019. Chained Echoes released on December 8, 2022 for PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox Game Pass. I'm reviewing the Game Pass version of the game after a 35-hour playthrough. This review will be a bit of a late review, as the game released at a very busy time for me, which was the holiday season in December. I was able to finish this game this month, and I have to say I really enjoyed my time with this game. In this video, I'll give my thoughts on whether this game is worth playing, and why this game is such a hidden gem. The graphics in this game is a throwback to the 16-bit art style of SNES JRPGs. It uses a pixel art style similar to Crosscode, which is another indie JRPG published by Deck 13. The level of detail in these pixel art graphics are very impressive. Environments feel very unique and have a very interesting vibe to them that I don't get in other games. The character models and monster designs are amazing as well. The game really brings out the feel of the 16-bit era games. The character art is very interesting, and it's definitely a more Western art style that makes the game feel unique. The combat effects and sound effects really make the combat feel fun and impactful. The soundtrack is very well composed. The battle themes are catchy and memorable, and I never get tired of listening to them. The soundtrack for the cutscenes really bring out the emotion of those scenes, and every area has a great theme to it, making you want to progress in the game just to explore new areas. The storyline of this game takes place on a war-torn continent called Vlandis. There's 3 kingdoms in Vlandis who are at peace in the beginning of the game. The peace does not last, and events plunge the kingdoms into full-blown war again. You control a party of mercenaries, thieves, and nobles who met each other by coincidence and decide to go on a quest to bring peace back to Vlandis. Overall, I enjoyed the storyline of Chained Echoes. It's definitely a throwback to old-school JRPGs, and the overall story premise has been used many times before, but the execution is great. I really enjoyed the characters in this game. All the characters have unique and charming personalities. Senna was one of my favorite characters, as she is a con artist and thief, and she's always interested in stealing things and being sneaky. Glenn is the closest to a main character in this game, and I enjoyed seeing his growth from being a former upstart mercenary to a leader of a group that's trying to save the world. I was surprised by a lot of the plot twists that came with learning each of the characters' backstory. The lore and world building in this game is very intricate and detailed. The kingdoms and all the main characters and villains have a very long backstory. There's multiple races, and every race has a backstory as well. There's many information on big historical events and factions in this game. The only complaint is that the dialogue can sometimes be a bit too jarring with using foul language. In some of the cutscenes, I felt the use of foul language was a bit too excessive and unnecessary. The gameplay loop is similar to other JRPGs. You explore towns and talk to NPCs to get quests or advance the storyline with cutscenes. You can buy items and equipment from shops. You explore different areas outside of towns and get into combat. There are no random battles in this game, and you initiate combat by walking into enemies. After every battle, HP and TP is restored to full. There's always an indicator on your map where to go to advance the main storyline. Later on in the game, you get access to an airship that helps you travel the overworld. There's also a fast travel system you can use by finding crystals in a new area. Also later on in the game, you can use sky armor for certain areas to help you travel by hovering in the air. There's also a class system in this game. You unlock these classes by finding a sacred water, and then using sacred water as certain statues. These statues give you a specific class emblem, which you can equip on a character to specialize them with a class. For example, there's a cleric class emblem that can give any character healing abilities as well as increase their magic and mind attributes. A unique twist to this game is that you level up by progressing in the game and reaching certain milestones to unlock Grimoire shards. This means that there is no traditional level system and no gaining EXP in battle. Each Grimoire shard gives you a point to invest in a skill of a character, and using these skill points can unlock new abilities or give your character passive bonuses. There's also an upgrade system for your armor and weapons. You can upgrade your armor piece and your weapon a total of 2 times max. Each upgrade for your armor gives you more defense, while upgrading your weapons increases the damage you do. You get materials for upgrading your armor and weapons by exploring the world, winning battles, and getting rewards, or buying them in shops. Your weapons and armor also have certain amounts of slots to place gems. These gems give you all sorts of passive bonuses when you put them into your armor and weapons. And you can also remove your gems from your weapons and armor at any time if you want them in new equipment that you find. The combat is a turn-based system that's similar to the JRPG classic Chrono Trigger. You can see the order of when your characters and your enemies can take a turn to perform an action on the top right corner of the battle screen. Each of your characters can do a normal attack that's also used for gaining TP, that's used for skills. Skills are pretty much like spells in this game, such as AoE damage skills, buffs, debuffs, and healing, and they all cost a certain amount of TP. You can also use various items, and you can choose to defend and take less damage from enemy attacks for a turn. There are some unique twists to the combat. There's an ultra move bar that fills up every time you attack or perform a skill. Each character has their own unique ultra moves that have various effects. There's also an overdrive system that really mixes things up during combat. Attacks and skills done by your party or by your enemy moves the overdrive bar to the right. The overdrive bar starts in yellow, which is neutral. You want the bar to stay in the green part of the bar, which is where your party members do more damage, as well as take less damage from attacks. And also, it costs less TP for your skills. If the bar is too far to the right, you end up in the red part of the overdrive bar, which really increases the damage you take from enemies. So you always want to try your best to keep the overdrive bar in the green part of the bar. If you move the bar to the left, you can do certain skills that are highlighted yellow at random times. You can also defend, or you can switch out party members to move the overdrive bar to the left. Also, ultra moves also move the bar to the left as well. At a later part of the game, you get access to sky armors, which are like mech battlesuits. You can use these sky armors during certain sections of the game for combat. The overdrive system for these sky armors depend on the gear your sky armor is in. There's gear 0, 1, and 2, and each gear moves the overdrive bar in a certain direction, either left or right when you perform an attack or skill. Also, different gears affect how much damage you take, how much damage you do, as well as how much TP you gain. With all these systems in place, the combat is very in-depth. You have to constantly think about what you're doing instead of just spamming skills mindlessly. You also have to pay attention to turn order, the overdrive system, when to use ultra moves, when to attack or go on defense, and much more. The combat is certainly very challenging as I've died multiple times in battle, but it's also very rewarding once the combat clicks and you figure out what you should be doing. Just winning battles gives you a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that's missing in the combat in a lot of other games. There's plenty of side content in this game. There's a lot of side quests that will make you want to fully explore all the areas in this game. There's lots of hidden secrets and items in each area. There's even whole areas that are entirely optional and not part of the main story, and there's hidden events and cutscenes. There's a reward board that gives you various items for completing objectives. The game has powerful, unique monsters that you can find and fight for more unique rewards. The game has an extensive upgrade system that rewards exploration to get upgrade materials and max out your upgrades. There's hidden party members you can recruit. There's the sacred waters and statues that give you class emblems, which you really have to explore and find these. Here I will sum up all the positives of this game. The pixel art graphics and art style stand out, and people who really enjoy classic JRPGs will be sure to enjoy this game. The soundtrack is very memorable and catchy. The characters are well written, and it's really enjoyable to see them grow throughout the storyline. The combat is very in-depth and fun. One of the best turn-based combat systems in any JRPG. The game is a good length and has a lot of side content, such as side quests, unique bosses, the job board, and hidden secrets. Here I will sum up all the negatives of this game. The foul language in the dialogue can be jarring and excessive. The pixel art style might not appeal to everyone, especially to those who need AAA production value to enjoy a game. I really wish the dialogue was voiced. It would really help with the presentation of this game. While the combat is fun and engaging, it's also very challenging. I think it's a must-play for anyone who has any sort of interest in JRPGs or classic style games. At $25, this game should be affordable to most people and is well worth the money. Even if you're on the fence about the $25, you can wait for a sale and it will cost almost nothing to buy this game. This game is also on Xbox Game Pass as well, so if you have Game Pass, I really suggest you use it to play this game. The only people who I can't suggest this game to are people who just don't like JRPGs or they can't get past the pixel art graphics. In all, I give Chain Echoes a 9 out of 10. Most parts of this game is very well made, and it's very impressive that one person developed this whole game. This is definitely an indie game made with a lot of passion and care that I feel is missing in a lot of AAA games. So I suggest supporting this developer, as I feel he really deserves it. I really hope to see another game in the same universe of Chained Echoes, or maybe a brand new JRPG game from Matthias Linde. This game came out of nowhere for me, and I'm happy that I found out about this hidden gem, as I feel it's one of my favorite games from 2022. If you like this video, please click on the like and subscribe button. It helps out my channel, and it helps me put out more content on JRPGs such as this video. My name is Hytrain, I'm signing out, and I'll see you next time.